Democracy is not shirk. There's a group of Muslims who ignorantly say that democracy is shirk, democracy is polytheism, democracy is paganism. How does that sound? Subhanallah, it's not true. Allahu Akbar. Democracy is a political system like monarchy, oligarchy, aristocracy, and other political systems. If you single out democracy as polytheism and paganism, then therefore that means that monarchy, oligarchy, aristocracy, and all the other crussies, or all of the other forms of governing the people, political systems, are also paganism as well, which does not make any sense. It does not make any sense because it's not true, it's falsehood. You guys don't know what democracy is, nor do you know what shirk is. Subhanallah. Democracy just means the rule of the people. The people, they come together to rule, to govern the nation. Just for example, monarchy. Monarchy means that only one person rules over the nation. Aristocracy means that a group of people, a group of select people, a group of people, they are the ones who rule the nation. That's it. Now, if the people believe within a democracy that their laws are more weightier, more better than the laws of God, then they are committing polytheism. They're pagans. They're mushriks. That's shirk. Same if a monarch, the king in a monarchy, rule of a king in a nation, believes that his laws that he creates, he himself creates, is better than the laws of God, then that monarchy is in shirk, just like Pharaoh. Just like Pharaoh. Pharaoh was not a democracy. It was, you can say, a monarchy. I mean, it was technically a tyranny. It was tyrannical, right? But let's go with it. Let's say monarchy. It's still a rule of one person. Pharaoh was a monarch. He was a king, right? But how come it was a shirky government, a government of shirk? Because he said, "Ana rabbukumul a'la." I am your Lord Most High, not the God of Moses. I am your Lord Most High. My laws are better than what Moses came with. Allahu Akbar. That's shirk. Even though it's not a democracy, it's a monarchy. Now let's backpedal. What is shirk? The reason why brothers and sisters make this mistake is because they don't know what shirk means. They don't know the definition of shirk. Because they follow Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, who didn't know the definition of shirk, which led him to slaughtering many Muslims. Read your history, O followers of that man. Shirk is the definition of shirk is to ascribe partners to God, to associate partners with God, either in his essence, or whether by way of his essence, or whether in his essence, a correct preposition matters, whether in his essence, his actions, or his attributes. That's it. That's what shirk is. However, what does that mean? I still don't understand. Can you give me an example so that I may understand? Well, alhamdulillah, I got you. Shirk, regarding God's essence, associating partners to God in regards to his essence, is to say that there are more than one God. That there is more than one God. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Some people believe in 1,000, etc. You get the point. Shirk in regards to God's attributes. Shirk in regards to God's attributes is to say that someone else shares the same attributes as God. So to say, for example, that someone else is forgiving, someone else forgives sins. I don't have to go to God. I can go to this person. He forgives. He's the most forgiving one, I should say. He's the most forgiving one. This person is the most merciful. This person right here, this object right here is the most powerful. The sun is the most powerful. God forbid. I don't believe that. Alhamdulillah. That's shirk in regards to God's attributes. Shirk in regards to God's actions is to say, or is to believe that something else other than God shares in God's actions. For example, Allah, God is the only one who creates and gives life and gives death and provides and sustains and forgives and shows mercy, etc. Now this person will say, well, the sun gives life giving God's actions to the son. That's shirk. So now he sees the son as God in a sense. He gave a sort of ability that's only for God to the son. Therefore, that's paganism, that's polytheism, alhamdulillah. Hope you understand. Now, to say that democracy in and of itself is shirk is wrong. Democracy in and of itself is not shirk. It's just a political system. Just like monarchy and aristocracy and even tyranny and oligarchy and what else do I know? I didn't finish reading the book, so I gotta go finish reading the book. So that's what I know. But you get the point. Democracy is just a political system, I repeat. Democracy is just a political system, just like how monarchy is a political system, just like how aristocracy is a political system. These political systems just reflect the type of society that the political system is being used in, if that makes sense. For an example, I'll give you an example, inshallah, to make you understand even more. For an example, the people of a monarchy are usually connected by blood. All of the people are the same people. They're close. They're all cousins, distant cousins. So they only need one person to govern them, right? They only need one person to govern them. So that's a monarchy. So they have a king. They appoint for themselves a king to govern them. In a democracy is different. In a democracy, the people, excuse me, the people are not close. The people are extremely diverse. So for example, you'll have, in a democracy, in a nation, you'll have Europeans and Africans and Asians all in one nation together. They're all citizens of one nation. Who are you going to choose? Who are they going to choose to govern them? If they choose a European, the Asians and Africans will say, why a European is going to be leader? If they choose an Asian, the Europeans and Africans are going to say, why is the Asian a leader? If they choose an African, the European and the Asians are going to say, why is the African a leader? So what do? Because they're diverse, they appoint for themselves representatives. So this African man will represent the Africans. This European man will represent the Europeans. This Asian man will represent the Asians. And they all come together. They obviously vote for them to represent them. They'll come together and then they will create laws in order to make sure that there's peace and prosperity in the land. That's a democracy. Alhamdulillah. Now, I forget if I mentioned this. Perhaps I did. If the monarch believed, I didn't mention this because I mentioned Fir'aun. If the monarch believed, the king believes that his laws is above God's law. It's better than God's law. It's more dominant than God's law. That's shirk. Just like Pharaoh. He was a king. But his monarch, his government was shirk. Because he believed that his laws were superior than the laws of God. If in a democracy the people have the same belief as well, that our laws that we create is better than God's law, then that's shirk as well. Then that's shirk. And so on and so forth. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So that is it. Now this begs a question, which I'm going to address right now, inshallah. This begs the question, well, if that's the case, can Muslims vote in a democratic society? The answer to this is yes. Because Muslims are a part of this diverse community. It's a diverse nation. Muslims are a part of it and they will need representation. If Muslims have no representation, then subhanallah, they will be oppressed and perhaps even persecuted. Now some ignorant fools, or buffoons will say, well, why don't they just leave? Well, if that's the case, why are you still here then? You leave first. Then we can have that discussion. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Subhanallah. So I hope you understand.